This podcast brought to you by OuchThatHurts.com. Visit Ouch That Hurts for music, gaming, reviews, editorials, podcasts, and more. OuchThatHurts, HERTZ.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Save Point Podcast. This is episode 54. I'm Dan, joined here by Chris, as always. Chris, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Via phone,
Always.
because he's yet to come into the studio.
And Dan couldn't get his sound to work.
No, I couldn't get your sound to work, so we're using my phone. But it's all good. That lovely voice that you just heard is Ryan. Ryan's joining us again. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. And we have a new person who's starting with us. Ryan, you maybe want to introduce who he is, since you kind of know who he is?
I know this guy?
You do know this guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you do. I'd hope so.
I think I've known him for a while. Phil,
Yeah.
my cousin.
Yeah.
Phil, say hi to everybody.
Howdy.
Wait. His first line into a podcast is howdy.
It's Phil. It's going to get weird.
yeah,
it's only going to get weirder.
It's going to get weirder from here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're lucky he's wearing pants right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, but pants in the studio is optional.
It is.
It is. So
Clothing is always optional for me.
I wasn't aware of that.
So, but no, everybody doing okay? How is everybody's? We haven't been on in about 3 weeks since our last episode.
My therapist says we can't wait that long anymore.
Why is the therapist waiting for the next episode, or is it for you?
The therapist just wants me to be here instead of there.
But when you are waiting for us, though, for us to put out a new podcast episode, you guys can always check out the BS Podcast Network. So that's bspodcastnetwork.com. They're a wonderful sponsor of ours. So bspodcastnetwork.com. You can check our episodes there, and then you can find a whole bunch of other great episodes of other podcasts there, too. So make sure you check that out, bspodcastnetwork.com. Make sure you hit us up on our socials, and that is at the Save Point for Twitter, save_point_podcast on Instagram. Find us on Facebook, the same thing, the Save Point Podcast. Twitch, the Save Point TV on Twitch. Hit us up. Tell us, what you're doing, how you're doing, how we're doing. Subscribe. Love all the support, but hit us up on there. But let's get into it. We're going to shake a couple of things up with this. Just a all-out question: has anybody played anything lately that they want to talk about that they just have to tell everybody that they've been playing?
I don't want to talk about it, what I'm playing right now.
But now you're definitely fucking going to.
Is it Candy Crush?
No. So I recently just downloaded the Marvel Future Revolution to my phone, and I've actually been nonstop playing it. It was actually just running about 10 minutes before we got into the studio.
Is that the game you were playing in the car?
Yes, it was. Exactly that.
Is that
game.
like a Jeweled game where you got to make it 3
No,
in a row?
that's I actually had to delete that one to make room for this one.
So what's it about? What do you do in it?
So basically, you get one of 7 characters, and
Are they Marvel characters?
They are Marvel characters.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Ryan will actually hate this because he doesn't like MMORP games, but you basically just go around with a bunch of different people and beat up on bosses and level up your character. You get to...
Why are you making direct eye contact with me?
Because I want you to feel me. But no, yeah, it's a great time waster. But yeah, that's what I recently downloaded.
That's a great pitch for a game. If you want to kill a bunch of time, download this thing.
Exactly.
What was the battery killer app? It was actually was it South Park that came out with that? It was South Park Battery Killer. It was an app. Chris, do you remember that? It was a long time ago.
Phil,
It was a How did he get that?
It was a what?
Yes, it was a card game, but yes, it killed your battery.
Yes, it destroyed your battery.
You would literally use, I want to say, 5% of your battery within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so you didn't get a lot of time with it. Well, good. Thanks, Phil.
You asked, I told.
Oh yeah, there you go. No, it's all good.
I mean, everybody here should be just playing Destiny.
I'm gonna hang up the phone on you.
I will fight you.
It's so good right now. The story. Oh.
What story? No. I don't know. No, we're not going to dedicate this episode to Destiny. That's great.
What we will
Wonderful.
talk about, though, is how awesome Wrath of the Druids is. The
Yeah,
DLC
you
for AC Valhalla.
Yeah, you've been like.
In fact, when
killing
everyone
it
asks
on
me
AC.
my favorite Assassin's Creed game is from now on, I'm just going to say Wrath of the Druids. And they'll say, oh, you mean Valhalla? No, just Wrath of the Druids. I'm very biased, though, because it's in Ireland.
True. You know,
You're Irish?
It's actually... No, not at all.
You and your red beard and red hair.
I'm actually from a part of Russia.
What? That makes no sense.
Well, I don't know where you think you are, but you're from America.
No, but I love the whole setting. It's a great. Actually, if with a bigger map and with adding more, obviously, it could have been a game on its own. It's really great.
Yeah, I Chris, with what you were saying, it reminds me of a interview I saw on TV. It was on the news. It was just, you could just picture the person. You know, I'm not going to describe the person, but they went over and he goes, it was something that happened or whatever. And the guy's like, I don't know what they were saying, but all I know is that they were not talking United States.
I know that guy.
I know that guy too.
He's the same guy who yells Freebird no matter what music is playing.
Hey, that's me.
But just in case you were wondering, bam, that's what the bottom of your avatar foot looks like.
Oh yeah. You went to the bottom of Avatar.
I think it's that guy's cousin.
It could be.
They're related somehow. They have the same sister who's also someone's wife.
Oh God.
This is my mama, daddy, sister.
It's my sister cousin.
My uncle, daddy, brother.
No, let's stop that.
Yeah.
Never mind. Hey, we didn't mention any part of the United States where those people are from, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no.
Cajun.
But get into it. Speaking on another part of the world, there is an actual convention that's going on right now, so we're going to cover a little bit of the announcements that came through. There was Opening Night Live 2021 from GamesCom that was hosted by Jeff Keighley, which, you know, and maybe I'm just ignorant to this. Can somebody tell me why Jeff Keighley hosts all these things?
I don't know who Jeff Keighley is.
Me neither.
We don't know who Jeff Keighley is. He's
I have
like,
no idea who
like
that man
everything video game related when it comes to like journalism has to go through, like the video game awards goes through Jeff Keighley.
Whatever happened to Kevin Butler? He was way more entertaining.
He was just an actor.
Yeah, but he was still more
You know,
entertaining.
Kevin's not even his real name.
I don't care. He was way more entertaining.
No, it's just like every time you turn around, it's like here, Summer Game Fest, hosted by Jeff Keighley. The Video Game Awards, hosted by Jeff Keighley. Gamescom, hosted by Jeff Keighley. It's like, okay, like where did he come out of? And maybe I'm just ignorant to it. Like I don't care. Like it's like, okay, cool. It's like it's awesome.
Are you asking where he came from?
You shut up. So like it's all good. So I'm not ragging on the guy. It's just like every time I turn around, it's like he's the only host. You know, it's like to these things. And
It seems like they like the job he does.
I guess so. I just
must be
wondered where
pretty
he
good
came
at
from.
it. He must be pretty good at it if they keep hiring him to do it.
A couple of announcements, but I don't know. Well, we'll get into the first one. Saints Row is getting a reveal, or got a reveal as a reboot. Is it a reboot? It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, and there's somebody here that just doesn't like it. He doesn't like the look. Am I right? You don't like the look.
Let's put it this way: Saints Row is the first two games were like these games were never like groundbreakingly phenomenal, but the first two games were really fun to play and entertaining, and they kind of had a different. They were, you know, feel like there was a lot of Grand Theft Auto comparisons.
Yeah,
but
definitely like a Grand Theft Auto.
They did a lot to separate themselves, especially by the second game, without getting too over the top. Then by the third game, I don't know if they were doing a lot of acid. But the third game, they left it all behind, and it got way too weird. And which now leads us to them having to reboot it. And the reboot, again, I don't know where they got the information on what would make it a hit from. But in a game Saints Row is something that has always been centered around like gangs, like street gangs. They were called the Third Street Saints. These guys look like hipsters from a coffee shop. They don't look like they could kick anybody's ass.
Hey, I mean, but look at Watch Dogs 2. Oh wait, you didn't play Watch Dogs 2.
Those are hackers. That's different.
Oh, that's true. Hackers are different than the gang members.
Yeah, hacker. Yeah, he was a hacker.
Okay.
They were hackers. The gang. Did you watch the trailer and see the guys they were fighting?
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, that's a gang. You're telling me these guys?
Yeah. Yeah,
after eating their avocado toast, they're going to go take down a gang of bikers? I don't think so.
So Ryan's not a fan of the reboot.
That's the last thing I'll say about it because I have nothing nice to say.
Saints Row. Like I said, we had this debate, or we were texting about this yesterday. I don't really care about the character, like what they look like. If the story gets me or the gameplay looks intriguing, I'll play it. Like, I don't care who the character is.
I think if you have a great campaign mode with good story behind it, I'm in.
Yeah.
My thing is, you have to look at, you're playing through these characters, your avatar, and you have to look at them all the hours you're playing this game. If I can't stand looking at a character, I can't play that game. I don't care.
Guys, I'm going to have to go. I can't stand looking at Ryan right now. This is my first and last show. Bye, Ryan.
See ya. No,
I can't do it.
Well, you had the same thought process when it came to Infinite Second Son. You just did not.
I gave up. I couldn't stand the way the character looked.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, that's your preference. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Second Son was an incredible game. It really was. I really liked the story, and then the fact it was kind of an easy platinum. It just took time because you could do everything on the good or bad side in one playthrough, and then you did the regular playthrough, another playthrough as the opposite side of it, and then you platinumed it. So
it's like every other Infamous game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't really heard a lot about this, but you guys are Ryan, you said that this is a turn-based. It's the Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a turn-based kind of game. That's what I read about it. Mm-hmm. The trailer's really cool,
but I don't think it shows any actual.
No, it doesn't.
Play.
No, it's
an announcement. It looks awesome.
An entirely cinematic kind of thing with a really cool
great
song in the background.
Well, yeah. See, it says here it's a tactical RPG, and usually tactical RPGs are.
Yeah, it doesn't even say if it's like
turn-based.
for the phone or consoles. We know nothing. It's just a really cool trailer with a really cool song in the background.
That's true.
I'll give them that. They did a great job of getting their game out there.
Yep. Call of Duty Vanguard campaign gameplay. It's time for a new Call of Duty. It comes out every 1 to 1.5 years.
If you want to hear positive opinions about it, this guy's a Call of Duty guy.
I do love Call of Duty. I think their campaign modes are exceptional every year. But I'm just talking about the Battle Royale. It needs a facelift and not just a reskin. It needs something new. We need a new map. We need something new, not just new guns.
Yeah, I mean,
they're also late to the Battle Royale.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were.
Period. I mean, they were 5 years too late.
True. The thing with Call of Duty is that it has to catch me from the beginning. Like, I really liked Warzone.
Yeah.
But I didn't like Cold War. And I can't tell you why. I just didn't enjoy it.
It's just there's at least in any game you find you don't like. There's maybe just one or two little things that turn you off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It could have been story wise.
Like the Modern Warfare.
It could have been something about the gameplay.
Outstanding.
See, like my thing too is that like I love Kill Confirmed.
Okay,
So like so Kill Confirmed. It's like if I can get into it and I get a good gun and I get a good roll going, like I can play Call of Duty for a while. But after a while, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I just can't keep doing this repetitive. And it's like, there's no other game modes that really kind of like intrigued me. Like, I had a friend that she always wanted to play zombies. And I'm like, that's great. I'm not a big fan of zombies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not a big fan of them.
I'm with you on that aspect because a couple of my buddies will be like, oh, yeah, let's go, run zombies for a little bit. I am not even remotely near where I want to be on that game. Like just the zombies. Yeah. You're killing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's just not fun.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this? Vanguard.
I actually haven't really read up on Vanguard. I know it's World War II. There's going to be some new mechanics. And apparently they are coming out with an anti-cheat that should help the actual Warzone and their Battle Royale. But, it's yet to be seen.
People will get around that, though. I think that's the other thing that throws me off. It's
So many cheaters.
You could definitely tell how people, like the tricks that they're using to cheat. And you can always tell when there's somebody in that game. And then the problem is they penalize you if you leave.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just played Warzone yesterday. And just in a, hour game sesh, 2 cheaters in both lobbies. And it just doesn't make it fun anymore.
Yep.
That's why a lot of big streamers are actually moving away from Warzone and going on to different games.
Hopefully Battlefield doesn't have that problem today.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we got another Battlefield 2042 guy here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. I can't.
We're building a team.
Yeah, so we got to figure out how we want to play that seriously, which will, obviously we'll talk off air.
Let's continue with this.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I just seen that.
Oh,
that
you sent me something about
Yeah,
that.
I sent that. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, the character reveal, you could play as April O'Neil. So it's like the old time, Shredder's Revenge is the old time arcade.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about playing as April O'Neil. What's the name of the game? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Okay, that's what I thought. There's already 4 of them. That's more than enough characters.
Yeah.
It's going to be Casey Jones.
I get it. Times are changing, but I mean, the Turtles got to save someone, and it's April.
I mean, it looks fun. I mean, it's like...
She just doesn't make sense. She can't... This version of April wasn't a fighter.
Yeah.
Pretty much every version since then has made her formidable, but this version of April, I just can't. If I play a Turtles game, I want to play as the freaking Turtles.
Yeah.
Is it sad I didn't even know this game existed?
I did not know until you sent me this about this.
What do you mean? This is the original one from arcade boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stylized after that.
It's stylized after that. But, I mean, they do have April O'Neil with the very nice looking yellow suit on.
She's also a cartoon, Dan. Calm down.
I like anime. That's all I have to say. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
I'm sorry, what?
You never played Super Monkey Balls?
So
no.
It's actually I played it when I was 15. It was a party game. My aunt owned a GameCube, and it was one of those where it was a couch co-op,
Like a Mario Party.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dan, why don't you talk about the game you got excited about when you saw
Which one
the
was that
reveal?
one? Oh, I will at the end.
Okay.
I will at the end. Far Cry 6 got a new story trailer. This one, actually, I'm really kind of interested in because I've never played one, is the Masquerade Blood Hunt. Vampire the Masquerade. It actually is early access in September 7th. So I'm actually really, really excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to play early access on the Xbox, but I know I'm going to play it on PC.
What's the premise of Vampire the Masquerade?
You're a vampire, and you just kind of go around and play as a vampire.
You suck blood.
You
I'll fight some stuff.
What is it? I'll see if I can't pull up the trailer for it. And you can kind of see the beginning of it. But it looks very intriguing to me. And it's like the fun, gory, vampire. It's not like, let's be,
They don't sparkle in sunlight?
Yeah, they don't sparkle in sunlight.
Okay.
So
that's always a good start.
That was on the Xbox, Dan.
I'm sorry?
Vampire. What was it was like Vampire or something on
It was called Vampire.
A Vampire? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's
right
not
now
creepy
we're
at all.
playing a
That's not
trailer
creepy at
right now,
all.
and a vampire literally has a family on Christmas Eve, and they are, this was the first trailer that they had for it.
They're strung up like
puppets.
marionettes.
Yeah,
They're
like marionettes. So, and he's basically dancing around it. So, I don't know if we can.
He's normal. He's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, they're playing Donkashane.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so I don't know. It just seems very intriguing on that. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out on early access. A lot of other stuff. Forbidden West, Horizon Forbidden West finally got a release date, and it's February 18th. There's so many games coming out in February.
Birthday month.
October is no longer a thing.
Yeah, no. There's October ones, but New World, that's the Amazon open world game that's coming out, or the MMO that's coming out.
Oh.
Another beta goes from September 9th through the 12th and opens up September 28th. What
is that?
Jumanji.
Yeah, there's the Jumanji game that's coming out.
Oh, wow.
It's a digital board game.
It's a game about a game within a game where you play
Yeah.
a game within a game.
Yep.
It's like Inception.
Except not good.
Valheim is getting an update, which anybody who's played Valheim. Jensen Impact is getting an update with Aloy.
Oh, yeah, just an impact.
Yeah. Death Stranding Director's Cut got a preview video, so I'm actually really excited about that. I was actually going to restart Death Stranding because when I actually got my PlayStation 5, I forgot to upload all my online saves.
I remember this.
So half
Yeah.
my games
Yeah,
that I've been playing for about 2.5 years were
He erased
gone.
his saves from his PlayStation 4 to transfer things to his PlayStation 5 without uploading everything he did.
Yeah, probably not the best idea.
No,
That's why Dan will never finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, because I
That is a very large game.
Ages of Empires 4 finally got a release date. And I don't know, when did they say that was coming out?
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be on here. Let's see. That's coming out
On its release date.
It's coming out October 28th. So that's pretty cool. And then I think the biggest one that people were looking at from there, there's a whole bunch
Not
of
the
other
Star
games.
Wars Lego. I don't think no.
No, not Star Wars Lego.
That wasn't the biggest one.
Phil, I know that you're excited about this also too, and I believe
the
Chris
big-
will be excited about
The big
this.
announcement from Gamescom.
Halo Infinite actually has a release date, December 8th.
Yes. I
No.
can't wait.
You're not a Halo fan? Why did I think you were?
Because he likes Destiny.
No, I do like Destiny, but that's besides. No, I never liked Halo.
Really?
Again, another game with campaign mode. Story is great. Give me
So-
with a story.
See, I like Halo just because what, but that's BS because you had Halo, didn't you?
I mean,
Because
that was
it was
also
free.
Oh, okay.
also Halo was. Just
I played
the best
a
to
Halo
play
game
with
too,
just your
but-
buddies
Look, the last
on the
Halo
couch
good
was
hit-
great. The first one,
The last good Halo game I played was Halo 2.
Halo 2
Oh,
was
okay.
awesome.
I could have sworn that you played the other ones with us.
Nope, that was our other friend.
Oh, okay. Well then, Phil and I are the only ones excited about Halo.
I mean, I'm not going to knock it. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's just not my thing.
You don't have an Xbox too.
I do. I do. I have like the last generation of Xbox. It's in a box in my closet.
So they are coming out though with a limited edition.
Do tell.
A limited edition Xbox. It actually looks pretty dope.
The $550 one.
Yeah, $550 console.
Does it come with a Master Chief helmet?
No, it does not come with a Master Chief helmet, but that actually is pretty cool.
That does look cool.
Phil just wants a helmet to wear when he's pooping.
So I am not a thief, but when I got let go of Game Crazy, the Master Chief collection for Halo 3 disappeared.
No one knows where it is.
No,
Jury's still out on that one.
The jury's still out. No, it's sitting in a box, unopened.
Okay. I think I gave what is it? Halo. What is it? Halo 4? I think it was Halo 4. They had that big, huge collection, and I ended up getting it for like $50, and it was like $150 thing. And it was like 2 bookends that you had. I ended up giving them to one of our mutual friends because I'm like, I'm not going to keep this. The box was insanely big. In fact, I still use the box for like storage in my basement.
Just that big.
I have a whole bunch of cords and all of that inside of it. Yeah. So
Thanks for sharing, man.
yeah. So as far as Gamescom goes, okay. So the question I have is, it's been kind of, I don't want to say lackluster, but it's just kind of been.
I mean, Halo was the biggest thing to come out of that.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been there's been some tree houses from Nintendo. There's been very few state of plays from PlayStation. Is it just because of the time that we're in right now with COVID still going on and surges are starting that we think that we just really haven't seen a lot of game production? Or do you think it's just a new way?
I think it's part that, and it's part the fact that now companies are, and it started with COVID and today's technology and everything, is adding to the problem for these conventions is these companies, they can and just want to release stuff on their own time.
Yeah.
They don't plan it around a convention now to have this big presentation which is sad to announce their games, but because they can do it whenever they want now.
And really the only company,
they can throw their own convention on the internet.
Really the only company that keeps doing that is Xbox. Because Xbox had a Gamescom convention, but it was a digital event.
It was a digital event. You go on, do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, but
they even did it for E3.
There.
There was even an E3 presentation. But Sony didn't have an E3 presentation. Nintendo had a treehouse, but once again, it was okay, got it. To me with Nintendo's weird with me when it comes to it. I'm looking at the games. Nintendo is either going to say, these are the games that you can download right now.
Yeah, they don't announce games that are coming out in 2 years.
Oh, no, they do. Or they say, here are the games and we'll give you more information later. There's hardly ever a release date
attached to
Nintendo games.
It's Nintendo.
I mean,
they know they're going to stay in business and people are going to keep buying it no matter what they put out. It's Nintendo. They're safe.
We've known about the second Breath of the Wild now for 2 years, and we still don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah, we have no idea.
They still haven't given a release date? I thought they did.
No, they still haven't given a release date.
Did they at least give a window?
No. Or did they? No, I
can tell you when the next DLC for Destiny is coming out.
I'm going to mute you.
Did they give you an announcement trailer that has no gameplay in it?
For which one?
For Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah, they have two of them.
Yeah, they have two of them.
Oh. So I mean, it's just
I think that's another thing that needs to end, the cinematic trailers. I get it. It's something that pulls people in, we were talking about that Marvel one earlier. Mm-hmm. It was cool and everything. But I don't want to know about a game 3 years before it's happening. And
I still don't know what it's about.
I don't want to see some cinematic footage of stuff of how the game's not going to look and stuff I won't be able to do in the game. Show me gameplay. Let me know what I'm going to be playing.
I agree.
You're getting people hyped 2 years in advance. Then you're going silent.
You know how many people are going to get super hyped about this turn-based Marvel game that have no idea that it's a strategy-style turn-based game? They're going to think it's going to be something else entirely, and they're getting super excited about it. And the second they reveal a trailer that shows the gameplay, they're going to...
Oh, yeah. Or they'll show gameplay on a high-end super PC and actual gameplay, but the average consumer with a console is going to get half of that.
Right.
True. Mm-hmm.
For a good example, the original Watch Dogs. That gameplay looked amazing.
Oh, I remember that first trailer.
Everything, it looked fantastic, and then you played it, and you're like, "Oh, look, there's a lot of popping."
Yeah, the actual graphics and gameplay were not great. I mean, let's face it, they were not great.
What, of the original Watch Dogs?
Yeah,
it was it felt very stiff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing too is that when you looked at it, I don't want to call ray tracing, but the reflections in the first one, if you go back to the first Watch Dogs, he walks through this bar, and it's lighting effect tricks that Ubisoft used to make it look like it glowed better.
Had glown.
Gloon?
Has glown.
Is glowing.
Who? But then he walked outside and it was wet on the ground. So there was reflection. So there was tricks that kind of made it look better than what it was. But then when the gameplay actually came out on the actual game,
you saw the reality.
You saw the reality of it, and it's this is really what it looks like.
Stop showing me what I'm not getting.
Yeah. So, though I did enjoy the first Watch Dogs.
It was still an enjoyable game. It didn't, as far as look and gameplay goes, they presented a product that we were not going to get.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of reminds me of the Fables. Remember?
Or what every single last gen person that wanted to play Cyberpunk is experiencing right now.
So, but Chris, you remember that with Fable, or you played Fables, didn't you?
Yes.
But remember Peter Molyneux coming out and been like,
Molyneux?
Yeah,
Maluno?
Molyneux?
That guy is
He
one of the
also-
biggest goofballs in gaming.
He also ruined the Fable franchise by like, look, I'm doing this all with one hand, with one button. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I kind of I
No,
vaguely
my-
remember a speech where he was like talking about what a Fable game's going to be, and I just remember it being the most ridiculous, over the top thing ever.
Is that the one where he's like, and you can touch and feel?
I don't know. I just remembered somebody needs to get this guy away from
Oh,
a
yeah.
microphone right now.
Well, I mean, but
He
that,
probably shouldn't be making games.
but this is
either.
probably one of the things that, this is one of the things that I don't want to say downfall, but like, he promised things that they didn't deliver on.
That's the
it's
speech
like-
I'm talking about. Like, he
Yeah.
made this one Fable game sound like it was going to be this like revolutionary thing that no one's
This
ever
was
seen
Fable
before, and it was like a lot of games I've played before.
It was like it's Fable 2.
The
it was good.
it wasn't what he was making it out to be, though. Is what I'm
Yeah.
Oh
saying.
God, no.
Because then they had the
I'm
whole...
saying he had this over the top speech where he was making promises about it was going to be this like revolutionary game that was like years ahead of its time and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It was a good game, but it was
I believe
it was pretty standard for games that came out back then.
I believe that was Fable 2, and then in Fable 3 that was like you got to like you became the king or something like that, and it's like now you had to make choices. And
Spoiler
it really
alert.
didn't, huh?
Country. You had to manage your country too. And
Yeah,
finances.
and
It's
like it didn't really matter what you did. Everything just looped back to the same story. Like I can't.
They
stand
gave
it.
you choices that didn't matter.
Yeah, like it.
That
Really
happens
wasn't-
a lot. That happens a lot in games now that are trying to use those elements.
Yeah. So
Ghost Recon Breakpoint's one of them. You have dialogue choices. Does it matter what we say? Not at all.
No,
Then
not one
why?
yeah, then why do we have dialogue choices? Do we feel that conventions sooner or later are just going to go away?
I hope not.
I don't
I
think
think
they'll ever
conventions
go
are
away
outstanding.
completely. In fact, I hope one day we have a resurgence of what conventions used to be because they were amazing.
And only things that you
Yeah.
can see at a convention.
but that's
Right.
a pipe,
You
that's
can't just
a pipe.
experience-
I think that's a pipe dream considering companies are seeing what they can do on their own time now.
yeah,
And
sure.
I don't think they're ever really going to want to go back.
Honestly, the
because
experience
they
of
know
going
at this
to a
point
convention.
whether or not we go to the convention, when we decide to announce it, it's still going to be a big deal. People are still going to eat it up. We don't have to actually go get a giant orchestra to announce God of War anymore.
That's true. Though it'd be nice to.
I mean, they don't really have to. All they have to do to announce a game like that, like Nintendo has Mario, all they have to do is say, Mario. Yay, everyone, we're all going to buy it. They don't even have to say anything else. Same thing with a lot of
me.
Halo. They didn't have to actually
It's a
release.
me.
They didn't have to do much other than say Halo.
Yeah, true. Get my head.
Are you trying to figure out how to segue to the next topic?
Yes.
So, our next topic is our top 5 games between 2010 to 2019.
True. No, 2000. No, it was 2000 to 2009.
No, 2010 to 19. It was the
Oh
2010.
shit!
See, we were doing it by decades, Dan. Do you know how a decade works?
Decade
Except-
actually
except we-
means dec means 10.
Except when we
think.
started this, we
And
did like
aid
90
is
and
also the end of
95.
Power and Gatorade.
What'd you say, Chris?
Except when me and you started this like 4 months ago.
Yeah, we did.
We did like 90 to 95, 95 to 2000.
Yeah, why did you start doing it for an entire decade?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is new.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we're doing it on an entire decade.
I mean, I got mine. I already know mine because it's been the newest part of what's going on. So I don't even have to look at them. I mean, I've already kind of have mine in my.
Oh, I have mine.
Okay.
I had a 10 list, and then Dan said we're doing 5, and I felt bad. So for some reason, I felt bad for the games that aren't going to make it anymore, that
Hey,
were
look.
10 through 6.
Marvel Future Revolution. Literally right on the screen.
I see that advertised everywhere all the time.
That's great.
It's very popular, apparently.
Yep. So, okay. So, starting with our new guy, Phil. What is your number 5 game?
My number 5 game.
Okay.
Let me get out my little sheet here.
He took notes, people.
I did.
He took
I
notes.
did my research. Darksiders, which came out in 2010. Honestly, what grabs me the most about this game, I've said it basically throughout this whole podcast right now, story. Story is it's basically you are the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, your war, and the apocalypse gets started early, and you have to basically fight a bunch of these angels and demons with your sword, Chaos Eater. And you just go throughout the entire game, leveling up your sword, getting your brothers and sisters' weapons throughout the whole series. It's visually great for, I mean, at least 2010.
It was insane looking.
It's awesome. And I love the art.
The entire game looked like an 80s heavy metal album cover.
It
was
crazy
awesome.
Good. Open world, a lot of puzzles you can do. So, you know, it's a hack and slash game, to be honest. And, like, you just get this element of puzzles and working towards the next level, leveling up your character. That's my number 5 game.
Okay. Sounds good. Ryan.
Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready. I got a good feeling I know what it is.
Right away. Came out in 2010. Wrapped up the trilogy. God of War 3.
Yep.
I
knew it.
I had to have it on there.
Mm-hmm.
I had to.
I agree.
When I was making the 10 list, I was looking at it. I was like, God of War 3 has to be somewhere on there. Sadly, that's the reason the God of War not reboot, but reimagining
Yes.
didn't make it onto my list.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's nostalgia, man. God of War 3 at the end of the trilogy that I loved so much.
I mean, every time we make one of these lists, there's a God of War in there.
You could make a list from those eras. You could make a list about anything, including like handheld games. And there were like 3 God of War handheld games too.
Mm-hmm.
God of War was everywhere.
True.
But yeah, God of War 3 was a great. It was a great game. A nice wrap up for his Greek adventures.
Okay. Chris.
War Never Changes. Fallout New Vegas, 2010. The best Fallout.
Not 3?
Yeah,
Fallout New Vegas is probably the most underrated Fallout.
it is the best Fallout.
Okay.
Because it doesn't get the praise, or you don't hear it like you hear about Fallout 3, but it was actually a better game.
There's definitely
every
a cult following under it. Like, there's definitely an
it was
underground
the
following.
first Fallout that had iron sights. And that was a game changer alone because you can actually shoot somebody who was not in your rendering distance.
That's true. So my 2015, my number 5, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. So I'm not going to knock on Skyrim and all of that. And by the time 2010 rolled around, wasn't it on its 86th release?
Skyrim came out in 2011.
Okay. But I mean, it's just
Dan, when do you think Skyrim came out?
1942.
It's been on every system.
Yeah.
It was actually the first game on Neo Geo.
Yeah. No, so I'm not knocking Skyrim. Skyrim's a great game and all of that, but to me, they're very similar, but obviously different stories. But it's the same type of genre, same type of setting.
Skyrim is a legendary game that has this massive following. But I will say this for you: Wild Hunt did everything better.
I think they did. I honestly think that they did.
The combat is way more engaging. It's not just poof, boom, boom, boom. It's you have to plan. You have to
like that. That's the biggest thing.
It
that
feels like you're in a fight.
Like that's the thing that took so many people out of the Wild Hunt.
The difficulty of getting used to the combat.
Well, that's the thing. You actually had to read. You actually had to talk to people and figure out.
You actually had to learn the lore to actually beat the monsters.
Yes, like you had to learn why. Like they didn't just say, "Hey, taunting oil makes this monster blah blah blah." So here is some. No, it's like, no, you had to read it. You had to research it. Then you had to go and find the elements to actually make it. Like you couldn't just be like, "Oh, I'm just going to go after this guy." You needed to research. So
I was discussing just the actual like swordplay combat in general was very. It's not easy for everyone to get a grasp on.
No,
having a system where you can't just run at something and hit the attack button.
No, and then you have mutagens and all of that, and then just there, I think the story is just amazing. Like it made me read the actual book, like the first book, The Last Wish, is the first book in the Witcher series. Like it made me want to read that book because of how good the video game was. So yeah, so Witcher 3.
The video game did that for a lot of people. It got them into the
Witcher.
actual Witcher stories.
Well, isn't it
reading the book?
That same thing with was it Henry Cavill?
Cavill.
Sorry.
Ouch.
I think he was a Witcher fan before the game.
Yeah.
He was a fan of the series before the game, but yeah, the game.
Yeah,
is a big deal for him.
Yeah. So,
as you could tell, he kind of fell in love with the character.
What was it? There was also, and I can't remember what country she was from, but there was an archer in the Olympics, and she had a Witcher charm on, like a Witcher here, and then a Witcher on her waist, a Witcher emblem.
It's a big. Well, a big deal. The Witcher's a big thing.
So, Phil, number 4.
Number 4. So we're gonna go to Call of Duty again. Black Ops 2, which was, in my opinion, the best Call of Duty that came out in this time period. It was 2012. Again, campaign second to none. Multiplayer, the first time you can actually like create a class, go in, upgrade and put different attachments on your weapon. Like iconic maps that they should bring into the new Call of Duty today. If it's up to me, I would. But yeah, I mean, online was fun. Honestly, look, again, what drew me into it was the campaign mode and how
the least talked about thing in Call of Duty games.
Yeah, right. Like you went back and forth between like 1980 to like 2025. It's crazy. It was good stuff.
Okay. Ryan. I'm not going to say anything about Call of Duty. I was never a big fan of the Black Ops. I don't know what it is.
You were more Modern Warfare.
I was
or
more
like,
Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
You know? Like my biggest one that I played was for Call of Duty, the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
We actually long time ago when I had the radio show doing this, we actually had a midnight release for that at one of our friends' stores. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So we got to broadcast and all of that, and I ended up getting a copy, and I ended up playing like the whole campaign until the morning. Then I passed out, and then like I woke up, and that night I ended up playing. What is it? I ended up playing the campaign. In fact, Ryan, I think you and I were actually living together at that point.
Possibly, I was probably playing NBA 2K12.
You probably were. Yeah. So you're number 4.
My number 4, Spider-Man.
Ooh, all right, okay.
Nice. So the newest one.
Not the newest one. The original one for the PS4 with the original Peter Parker actor. I'm being specific now because they re-released it with a new actor playing Peter Parker because he looks more like Tom Holland. No. I'm talking about Spider-Man with the original Peter Parker actor when it first released.
Okay.
That
was good.
It was. I will say it was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. There's not a bad thing I could say about Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's almost the perfect Spider-Man game with a better story than any of the Spider-Man movies have had.
Okay.
I will say this: it is, if you grew up and loved this character like many of us have, you feel like a weird, like kind of like almost like attachment to the character.
Right.
There's a part in this story that it was literally only the second game I've ever played that made my eyes water. It was so powerful.
Okay.
Wow.
I absolutely love everything about Spider-Man.
I know exactly what part you're talking about.
I absolutely love everything about that Spider-Man game.
Yep. In fact, I actually got mad at that part. I was emotional. I got
a little mad too because I wanted Peter to make the non-heroic choice.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, but we're not gonna reveal that spoiler. Okay.
Well, if it's a spoiler at this point, you need to get your life together. That game's been out for like 3 years.
Yeah, it's true. Chris, number 4.
None of y'all are going to expect this, but Starcraft 2, Wings of Liberty.
You know, I never thought you would go PC on that.
I played every Starcraft game and every expansion. That's the only reason why I still have a Blizzard.net account is for Starcraft.
I actually have played Starcraft 1. I never played Starcraft 2. I never had a PC that can do it. I mean, now I do, and I just never went back to it. But no, I never played it. We should do that because I think it's free on Blizzard right now. I think it's free to play.
I'll re-download it.
There you go. I'll re-download it too. Nice. Chris, you might get this one. Guys, I don't think you're going to get this one.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to play the theme to this next one. This is my number 4. Ready?
No copyright.
or it's one of the songs in it.
Cowboy Bebop?
Nope.
They made a game. Oh.
They did make a game. No, wait, that was Samurai Champloo.
Yeah. And a good animated game.
I prefer
It's
the
not
conditioner.
So
That's right.
that is Persona 5.
Oh. Yeah.
I remember you used to talk about this game all the time.
Yes, Persona 5 is just. I mean, you
Is that the game with the lightsaber?
No.
Oh.
That's No More Heroes. The lightsaber looks like you're jerking off to recharge it. You're like,
They should have made that like a Wii game.
yeah, they did.
It is a Wii game. Oh, that's fantastic.
So no, so Persona 5 literally is you take on the persona of you take on the character of a Japanese high school student, and you create relationships. And what happens is you start to unravel different things that are going on within the school and within the city and all of that. And like this one is so each persona has like a theme behind it. So like this one is like revealing what's true in your heart, and like what masks we put on to like
We all wear masks.
yeah, basically that's what it is.
Metaphorically speaking.
And so it's like everybody has like their
No one cared who
persona.
I was before I put on the mask.
So like this one is you actually go after people that you know that are fake, that are doing undermined things that
So there's an underlying message.
So it's basically like
Yeah.
it's basically
Every
like
single
it's basically
one.
like a violent version of dealing with high school drama.
yeah, and basically it is. And the cool thing is that like in Persona, it's the art that got me with it. It's I mean, it's just they're just so it's such a interesting art and coloring and all of that. It's basic, like the base color is red, and like so like you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be like, oh, let's find who we are and let's be good people or whatever. But literally, like to reveal yourself, you literally have to like rip the mask off your face, and like in some of these like things like
So it's a little darker than
it's very dark.
Yeah.
Like literally, like in the first trailer, like he rips off his face, like he rips off his mask, and he's bleeding around his eyes. You know, like in Persona 4, you had to find a murderer. In Persona, I believe it was 2 or 3, you actually had to take a gun and shoot yourself in the head to release your inner persona. So like it's just
very dark game.
Oh, it is. It's a very dark series, but it's so good. And the music to it, the music is such good music. Like it's just such a great. Yeah, here I'm playing the. I don't know if people can hear.
Nobody's gonna be able to hear it.
So yeah, but yeah.
If you want to know what Dan's talking about, you can look up the music.
Yeah, look
on
up
your own.
Persona. Look up Persona 5.
Look up soft jazz, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it literally is. It's soft jazz the whole time around.
I swear to God, when you played that song, I thought it was going to be a Cowboy Bebop thing. All you needed was to.
Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Dun, 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 dun.
If speaking of Cowboy Bebop, off track for 1 second, if they do anything to alter or make that theme their own or do something different with it for the show, that people like Dan are going to throw a controller through the television.
Well, that's the thing is that Yoko Kanno is actually doing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Yoko Kanno is actually doing all the music. Who's the original composer of all the music to, the original anime.
Mm-hmm.
So I really highly doubt that they're going to change that. I really hope they don't. But I would be very surprised if they do.
All right, so back
So
to
yeah, so
Phil.
Persona 5.
So
Phil,
what is this?
number
3
3.
now. This one in the series, I believe this one is the best. Arkham City. Arkham City is by far my favorite. Yeah, Ryan, you can cross that one out. But it's the actual way you can play is so different than anyone else would like. I can play Arkham City different than Ryan would play Arkham City.
Mm-hmm.
It was the quintessential Batman game.
It's so
It really
good.
was.
Soundtrack was great.
What wasn't great about that game?
I don't know. I mean, the
Is that the one that had Cody and Cambria? do a
yes,
song
Cody
to
and
it?
Cambria.
They wrote a song about the Joker. Yes.
Panic at the Disco, and I think Daughtry was in there too.
He did Drown in You, yeah. That was
Um,
used in like all the trailers.
I mean, open world, like it was enormous. I don't know.
It was
at the
big,
time,
but it wasn't
it's like,
too big.
right. Like you still do
The only
but it was
thing, you can
huge.
say negative about that is the Riddler trophies. That's about it. Way
I mean,
too many.
There was so much to do. Like you can literally go on your campaign story mode and just do that, and you still wouldn't have.
But there's so much
done
you would miss.
anything.
But there was so much you would miss.
Yeah, there's so much like the side missions you can do. Like you said, like the Riddler
All those games are
trophies
great with Easter
still
eggs,
great.
but that game had so many little nods to so much more in Batman's world.
Yes,
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Okay, Ryan.
Number 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'm not surprised by that one. I knew that was going to show up. I didn't know where, but I'm not surprised. You platinumed that game. I remember that when you got that game.
I remember doing backflips when they first released the trailer for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional Assassin's Creed fans were banging their head off the wall. I was ecstatic. I love Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
That game I think it's a very is it a giant step away from everything people loved about Assassin's Creed? Yes, it very much is. But is it a great fun game? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, they needed a reboot of it, and I think that was the reboot they needed. Like seriously, like Origins was like an experiment of will people actually
Origins
play
was an
this?
experiment of a new style of gameplay and a new style of things are done with an amazing story.
Correct.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey was the fruits of the labor that they put into trying to create this new style of gameplay. Origin was technically the test run for the gameplay.
Correct.
Odyssey was how it was meant to be. And
I
it's
agree.
fucking amazing.
I agree. Chris, number 3.
This was a tough one, but I'm gonna say Pokemon Go. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn it, that was my number 1.
No, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I mean, there's not much that needs to be.
I'm just going to stop you there. That's my number 3 also.
All right.
I mean, it was. Yeah,
All right, both of you guys, Dan and Chris.
Yeah.
Fight.
I mean, no, Dan can agree with pretty much everything I'm about to say. It's the open world. There's no wrong order of doing the game.
Correct.
You want
You
to
can go any way you
beat
want.
the game right away. You start off the Great Plateau and you go straight to Hyrule Castle to kill Ganon. You can do that.
Yeah.
I got to
It'd
say,
be
I'm
extremely
actually
hard.
shocked that's not Dan's number 1.
No.
Because you are like Zelda through and through.
Yeah, no.
I have a feeling I might know what it's going to be.
I'll see if you can guess. No. It's not. It's not.
All right.
You won't be surprised when you hear it, but you'll be like, "Oh shit! I can't believe I thought of it. I didn't think of this one."
I mean, I had a hard time picking between that or like God of War, but God of War's been on a lot of lists.
So
Ryan,
Hey, the God of War you were going to talk about is not on this list.
yep.
I know, but it is I know I'm going to pick a fight here,
Yep.
but I believe God of War, the new one, was the best.
It's definitely superior. God of the original. I put God of War 3 on the list just because it was the wrap up of a trilogy that I loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt wrong not to have it on the list. That's
Yeah.
the only
No,
reason.
no.
The new God of War is gameplay is superior in every fucking way.
Oh yeah, every way. But to your part, Chris, too, I think Breath of the Wild, the thing that really made it, besides it being a great story and great gameplay, like really did, the fact that it was a launch title on the Switch, like it drew people into wanting a Switch, and it was like, I
More
really
people
love,
bought it than a Switch.
yeah,
They-
I love
there's
being able to play it. I love being able to play it on the screen, but it's the first time I can really remember that I had a full Zelda game handheld. That was great. Like just absolutely incredibly great.
Well, that's one of the reasons you could say it deserves to be on any list if you're talking about the top 10 because it's a game that literally was a console seller.
I mean, it's a masterpiece. It literally is a
it
console seller.
literally
I agree
is a
with you.
console seller. Very few games can say they sold consoles.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild sold the Switch.
But not just that, there was over 100,000 Breath of the Wild copies sold more than the Switch.
Yeah, because remember, it also came out on the Wii U.
That's
Oh,
insane
Jesus.
to think about. That's just insane to think
Dude,
about.
it's Zelda, man.
It's so insane.
It's Zelda, brother.
Yeah, that's why Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, I mean that's going to be. I know that 5 million people are going to end up streaming it and all that, but
Right.
we're still trying to grow our stream, which is twitch.tv/SavePointTV. But I'm still going to stream it. Like I'm going to stream that whole game the whole time that I play that game. So number 2.
Number 2, Injustice 2. So
Phil digs the fighting games. man.
I'm a
does.
very big fighting game guy.
I remember many drunk nights
Yeah.
that it's like,
Dude,
what are we doing?
Dude,
We're turning on the fighting
from
game.
that old apartment, Phil's still the reigning and undefeated Mortal Kombat champion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you got
it
it, you
is.
got it.
Yep.
I mean, online ranked modes in fighting games obviously are incredibly difficult to actually compete in, but the story mode is, I mean, if
The story of Injustice is great.
If the DCU would actually make this into a movie, I know they're coming out with an animated one.
The most you'll see is animation. They're never going to make a live action
It
film where
would be
Superman is evil.
So
I hate to tell you
it's
that.
such a good story, and honestly, I've gone on YouTube and literally just typed in Injustice 2 story and watched every single cutscene from start to finish. It's like a 6-hour movie, but
great story.
it's awesome.
Plus, it had the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and Red Hood as your DLC.
Dude, I would have bought that game just to play as the Red
It
Hood
was out. It was great.
and the Ninja Turtles.
You play.
And then you got to go off the comics too. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah,
Right,
It's
I mean-
it's a fantastic story. It really is.
I mean, Injustice the series is great, but Injustice 2.
Ryan, number 2.
We'll gloss over this field real fast because you heard all my opinions on it. It was Phil's number 3, Batman Arkham City.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. Same reasons, all of that. I mean,
I said everything I could
it's a great
say.
game.
Yeah.
Chris.
Man, so you talk about like tugging your heartstrings and all that, but yeah, it's gonna be Diablo 3.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see it. There was plenty a long night when when my wife and I were living in St. Louis, and Chris, you would pop on, we would pop on, and we would play Diablo 3
Till like 3
my
3 in
God.
the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Me, Dan, Bonnie, and our friend Mike, and we would just be playing for 6-7 hours straight. This is before you had a kid.
Yeah. Like literally,
And-
it was like, oh, it's
and-
shitty outside, it's cold outside, we're not going anywhere. We're playing Diablo all weekend, and we did. We literally did.
And
Just funneling,
And
just using a
my
funnel
only-
from
my
your
only
ass to the
complaint
toilet so you
was-
don't have to move.
Basically,
my only complaint about Diablo 3 isn't about the game itself, but it's about the amount of complaining I heard because Dan's always pausing the screen to go through menus, and Bonnie can't kill stuff.
well, yeah, see, that's the thing is that so it was split screen.
She's
So,
got to
like,
get
if-
the rage out, damn it.
Yeah, it was split screen. So if somebody was in the menu, like you got the full
Nobody
screen
could do
menu.
anything.
It's
Yeah,
the
nobody
full
could do
screen
anything.
menu.
It's a full screen menu. So, yeah, no, that's a good one, Chris. That's a really good one. My number 2, and it kind of goes a little bit with the Diablo, but it actually goes with, it actually ties into Ryan, and that's the Division. So anybody who's followed us for a while knows that I've moved around a lot because of my job. So originally from Chicago, and I ended up moving to St. Louis. I ended up moving to parts of Michigan, and then the lower part of Illinois until we're back in Chicago. And when the Division came out, I was in Indiana. And what Ryan and I had were we would literally have days where we would just log on at 9 o'clock in the morning and we wouldn't log off until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
We played for as long as the sun was out, pretty much.
Yeah. And it was and the thing is, it just made me feel less homesick. Like I love the game. I mean, the game is a great game.
It kept us connected as you were being moved around the country.
Yeah. And it kept us very connected, and it was an enjoyable game. It really was an enjoyable game, especially when you got to the end and all of that. So, so the division for not necessarily.
I kind of feel bad for the fact that the Division wouldn't even have made my top 10.
It's okay. But I mean, you were home.
Yeah.
You know, you were home. You saw other people. That was my connection back to home.
Back to here.
And there was other games like I'll even.
That
go
was your
into,
connection.
Well,
you didn't like talk to your family or anything?
No, not at all. But like, I mean, like Chris, like I just like we would play Destiny, but I just can't say that Destiny is one of my favorite games. You know, obviously, but I mean that would keep us. But like
The Division was a game we thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean that was just nonstop. Like I was waiting to leave work to get home or the weekend so we would play Destiny because
the sad thing is we wouldn't even talk that much.
I literally lived in a part of Indiana that I literally think that a gas leak was the most excitement they had in the past 50 years.
I'm surprised you had internet.
Yeah, like I am too. Like it was shitty. And I'm not going to say the area because I don't want to do that.
We're not knocking on Indiana here.
No, we're not knocking.
There's some parts of Indiana that are very wonderful.
I would love for somebody to tell me that, but
Which parts?
Yeah. So going on number 3. Do I have this?
No, we're on the number 1 for Phil. Number one.
So obviously I'm new to the podcast, but I'm a very avid hockey fan. So my number 1 on this list is actually NHL 14. Came out in 2013, but NHL 14 was the best NHL in the entire series. By far.
Why do I feel that you and I are going to be streaming playing hockey games and facing each other?
I would love for that.
I remember I used to play hockey games, but I would only run. I wouldn't even score goals. I would just try and kill people.
But yeah, NHL 14 is my number 1.
Okay, makes sense.
A lot of long hours on that.
We got to start teaching them the ropes here and how we don't talk about sports games.
No sports.
A sports game would have been number 10 on my list, man.
No,
2K?
If it was top 10. 2K.
Oh, that's true. No, we're only playing. We're just not huge. We don't really ever talk a lot of sports games here.
No.
So awesome. I mean, like I'm all for it. Like, I would face 2000.
I would counter you with an NHL game. I remember I remember a time when 2K was allowed to make more than just basketball games.
Yeah, they had a 2K.
They had a great.
NHL
They had a
2K.
great.
They
had a great NHL and a great NFL game back then.
Yeah,
the NFL game was amazing.
It was like 2008.
Played that on the was it the 360? All right, maybe. Yeah, or the original Xbox. NHL Hits is it's so much fun.
Did you guys like Blitz? Yeah. Speaking of
Hits?
Blitz was amazing.
Dude. NFL Blitz was insane. I remember that was like for N64.
Yeah. I mean, NHL.
That was like the NBA
Hits,
Jam
Blitz,
of football.
Yeah,
and then what was? I guess
NHL had one too.
NHL Hits. Yeah, and then what NBA had. I mean,
I'm waiting for golf's version of that. And I want the guy who announces Mexican soccer to do it.
Yes.
Goal! No, why did we all do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So NHL, you said NHL
14.
14, yes. Martin Brodeur was on the cover of that one.
Ryan, number 1.
Number 1?
Do I have to play the sound effect?
I don't care. Number 1 was probably my number. You were probably expecting my number 2 to be number 1.
Yes.
Number 1, and I will say the best video game I have ever played.
Wait, can I guess? Can I guess now that you're saying that? Mass Effect 2.
No.
Okay.
The best video game I have ever played. Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's a great game.
I couldn't get into it.
It is very.
That game is fucking phenomenal.
All I know is that when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, Chris came over to my house, okay? And literally he goes, "Here, I got the game, and we have a bottle of Jack Daniels." We finished the bottle of Jack Daniels.
That's very good.
Linking
things together.
Yeah. Right?
And then he made me go home.
No, you stayed.
No,
you stayed. You slept overnight.
No, Burns left, and then shortly after.
For the purpose of the show, we're going to say Dan let you stay at the house and not drive home.
I was not under the influence.
Oh, okay.
Dan drank the entire bottle of Jack Daniels.
I had a lot of it. That's all I'm going to say is I had a lot of it.
He's a fan of Jack Daniels.
Yeah. So, Chris, number 1.
Borderlands 2.
So that's a good one.
Story.
That's like my number 6.
Story, the soundtrack, the characters in the game, the humor.
The fact that
Butt Stallion, here, girl.
here, Butt Stallion.
It's a unicorn. It's a diamond horse.
Wait.
Shit's
What
guns.
was it? The sheriff? Is it the sheriff or whatever like that he had you go over and he was renaming, or the hunter or whatever? Oh yeah,
I never finished that mission because every time it was like what was it, like boner farts?
yeah. So like
Yeah, it was boner farts.
That's where that comes from.
yeah, boner farts. So yeah, so there's a monster that like these ice monsters and he wanted to rename them. And the thing in the game is that he's like, I don't know, let's call them boner farts. Go kill boner farts. So that you go out there. Now, if you never...
So the entire mission, this thing's talking to you, and he keeps referring to the things as boner farts?
And the thing is
how do you play the game without dying?
Now, the other thing, too, is that now they come up as boner farts. So if you
And
never...
with their health bar?
Their health bar.
Oh,
so if
God.
you never
Oh,
complete
man.
that mission, they stay as boner farts for the rest of the game.
That's awesome. So, Chris, you never completed the mission. That's great.
Completed that mission.
Just so you can have them be called boner farts.
I mean, the art in
I
that game
literally-
is like the art style is.
Oh, yeah.
it's
It's
so
amazing.
Cool.
It's
I love that
variety types for weapons. I mean, literally, a shotgun can shoot swords that explode into more swords.
Did you hear that they upgraded 2 and 3 on the Xbox Series, and now it runs at 120 frames per second?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey did something similar.
Yeah, they did 60. So I am all for running through that campaign again. I'll do number 2 again.
I'll do number 2.
We had hot wings before the show. You're going to do number 2 sooner than you think.
So
No, I mean it's just there's not too many games out there that have a good sense of humor, a good story with
Mm-hmm.
a combat system that keeps you engaged and wants you to do and makes you want to play the game a second time
and then a
or
third
a third.
or a fourth. So stop that, guys. So okay. So Borderlands 2. Got it.
Dan.
My number 1.
Play the sound effect.
That one?
Shimigami Tensei.
That's accurate.
Or
No.
no? Okay. I can't play the other one because that's going to be our last segment. Anybody have any guess? Now, really think about this, Ryan. I've been trying to get you to play this game for years.
Final Fantasy?
Shimigami Tensei.
Nope. 3 words.
It's
3 words?
Metal Gear.
No, I'm sorry, 4 words. Nope. Made by Naughty Dog.
Crash Bandicoot.
Nope. That's
No,
2 words,
no.
you doof.
Is it Uncharted? No, oh, no. It's
Really?
one of the few games that made me cry. Gosh darn it! Oh, what's the name? They just made the second one and it was crap.
Is it there? Am I going to see it there?
No, you're not going to see it there.
4 words made by Naughty Dog, and it's not Uncharted.
Yep, they just released the second one.
And the first one, like within the first 10
Oh,
minutes, it actually made me
The
cry.
Last of Us.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Last of Us literally is my second favorite game of all time. It is, it's just absolutely brilliant. It is an absolute brilliant game. It's a great storytelling game. The way you sneak, everything that you have to do. The second one it just pulls on you so much. Like you care so much for these people.
Now, are you saying the first game or the second game?
The first game. The
Okay.
second one, yeah. The second one is great, but I think the first one is an absolute masterpiece. And I'll go. And what got me with it is that I started listening to a podcast. And Ryan, I know I talked to you about this.
Troy Baker.
Yeah, Troy Baker.
The Joker.
And I think I even played this part. So there's an official Last of Us podcast, okay? And they start to talk about different parts in the game. Now, this is spoiler if you haven't played it yet. So Joel's...
Now we're doing spoilers.
Joel's...
The game's been out for
Yeah.
a long time. It's
Yeah.
not a spoiler at this
Well,
point.
A lot of these
So
have been out for
Joel's
at least 10 years.
daughter gets killed in the first scene, okay? Like you build up and she gets killed. And the way she gets killed is really disgusting if you really think about it.
Gruesome.
It's not gruesome. It's just the way that it happens. Okay. So what's happening is he basically go up and they have this infection and they go up to like what's supposed to be a government quarantine zone where you can get in. And the guy's like, you're not clear. We don't know who you are. Get away. Get away. And he, Joel's holding his daughter like don't, whatever. And the guy ends up shooting and hits his daughter. Okay. And Troy Baker gets on there and he's just like, I'm gearing up for this. I'm gearing up for the scene. I'm gearing up for the scene. He goes, and I do it and I nail it and all of that. And Neil Druckmann's like, okay, do it again. And they do it and they do it. And now it's really hard for Troy Baker. He's like, it's hard for me to do this or whatever like that. And finally it's like, he's like, the scene, the first time we did it, it was fine. We're done with it. Couple weeks go by. Neil Druckmann comes back and says, we got to reshoot that scene, that voice. And he goes, no. He goes, I need you. And he goes, I nailed it. He goes, the guy, he's broken. He goes, you're right. He goes, and that's what I have. I have a broken guy. He goes, but what I don't have is a guy that's looking and saying, I can't do anything. I'm trying to do something. I can't do it. Why can't I do anything? I'm hopeless. Now I'm broken. And it's like you feel that when you play the game in that moment. It's like I heard that part and I got goosebumps because I remember seeing that part in the game. And I'm like, holy fuck. And this is the first 10 minutes of the game. Like it drew me in just like that. And ever since then, it's just like, I eat up anything that's The Last of Us. In fact, the pair of headphones I have on right now are a pair of The Last of Us headphones. So yeah. So The Last of Us is my number one.
It's kind of sad. I've never played. I mean, I've seen it everywhere.
It's so good.
I mean,
so good.
Honestly,
it is so good.
Oh,
so
I actually tried that
things.
game and I played through like to where I was past that part. I got my honest with you. I don't even remember that scene.
Jesus.
It was the whole premise. It's the whole premise.
It made me tear up.
It would make anybody tear up.
I mean, figure it in today. Like honestly, figure it in today right now.
And you know, the ironic thing is that like I want to share that game with my daughter when she grows older. I mean, she's 4 now, so obviously it's going to take some time.
A little bit,
but it's like
she's got about 16 years before she can touch that.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah,
but like it's like, whatever. So, and then the second one is just great, but we're not talking about the second one. So that's our lists. I don't think we really can come up with any more lists, but we'll come up with some other. I think with Halloween coming up, we're gonna think of a couple other lists to kind of talk about. So that's gonna be one of our regular segments that we have. So just continue to listen to our lists.
Jump scares.
That's a good one, actually.
I like that.
But let's get into the last part of our episode today. And it's a new segment. It's a new segment for us, but it's an old segment for what I've done when it came to when I was on the radio. And that was the Donkey Awards. So the Donkey Awards, I'm going to explain this really, really fast, and we'll kind of go through each person gets one of them. And right now, the thought of a Donkey Award is everybody wants to talk about everything that's going great within a game or within the industry. This is something that just didn't...
Wait, you think people want to talk about things going... You've never been on Reddit.
True. This is basically, in our opinion, what we feel is the biggest mess up of the week or since the last time that we've met in the video game system, in the video game industry.
Except this time we're extending.
For this time, for the first one, it could be anything that recently happened within a past couple of months that you can talk about and say, hey, all of that. And we're going to play.
Mine goes a little farther back than that.
And then what we do then is that when somebody talks about that, okay, when somebody talks about it and they present their Donkey Award, we have to, as a group, either say, yes, it gets a Donkey Award, or no, it doesn't.
Okay.
Oh. So who wants to try to go first?
Oof.
Ryan, you go first.
I'll go first.
Ryan's been waiting for this.
Oh, I'm dying. My Donkey Award goes to CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077. That was the most colossal fuck up I think I have ever seen in the video game industry. It was horrifying.
That was bad. It was bad.
I'd elaborate more, but we've all witnessed this horror show.
So are we voting that's an in?
Oh yeah, that's
Chris, that's an in?
Oh, yes.
It's funny to think, in the same show, they made a game that was in a top 5 list of the decade, and they won a Donkey Award for another.
Yeah, I know. Phil, what's your Donkey Award?
It's nothing too recently because I didn't really think about it too much. But in Assassin's Creed Unity, it was a bug and a glitch that you would actually interact with faceless people. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen. When I actually it was just eyeballs and teeth. It was so creepy.
Are you trying to find a picture of it?
I have it up right now.
Show Ryan. I don't know if Ryan's ever seen
this. And you would talk.
I'd shut that fucking game off of me. That could be on our next list too.
Yeah.
Like, look at this.
Oh yeah. So
it's so scary.
How do you fuck up that badly?
I mean, the game was riddled with bugs.
It was.
A lot of Assassin's Creed games are.
I mean,
Ivor can teleport.
But this one, it was funny to me, and I had to share it.
Chris, that's a yes.
No.
No?
No.
So Chris is a no on that one, but I'm going to go yes.
What,
Ryan's
for a
going-
Donkey Award?
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually kind of like it. So it looks like you get universal no's on this one.
So that's two yes or 2 no's to 1 yes. So no, it does not get a Donkey.
I actually that would be something that would amuse me severely if I was playing that game. Like I'd shut that fucking game off immediately, but I'd be peeing my pants laughing.
No patch notes. I want no faces.
So, and what we will do is we'll actually post these Donkey Awards on our Twitter and polls and all of that.
We'll even put a picture of what Phil was talking about.
We'll put a picture on there
in case you didn't play that game like I did. Tonight was the first time I fucking saw that.
Terrifying.
Chris.
It's definitely not recent, but the studio is 100% now confirmed that they are no longer sporting it for a very good reason. The Anthem.
Oh,
I forgot about Anthem.
Anthem, the Iron Man simulator with time gates, and let's go get 75 of each grindable, material, but you have to do specific missions at specific difficulty to get just 3 of one item. They literally had a time gated, 7 hours of grinding just to beat the game.
Yeah.
And they officially just wiped their hands clean of it. They said, all right, we're going to work on something else, guys. It was fun. Well, it wasn't. But the production of that game was just a total nightmare. Literally, a year before release, they knew what type of game they were making. But the trailer everybody saw, where it was like, "Oh man, look! All right, we're gonna go down and we're gonna have to fly in here, and oh look, I'm picking up a weapon." That game, right then and there, that trailer. That's when they started working on that game. They literally had 3 months to put together something real quick, and then they spent a whole year trying to cram a 60-hour game into maybe 4 hours of gameplay.
Okay. I can see that.
Total dumpster fire.
He's not even done
I want my
talking yet,
60
but that's a
hours.
yes for me. That's an immediate
Yeah.
fucking yes.
Yeah, I'm in.
You're in? Okay.
Yeah, that Anthem was a Brink style fuck up.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Yes.
Yeah. So my Donkey Award, it goes to hey, did you ever see the bottom of a Avatar's foot?
That's your Donkey Award?
No, that's not my Donkey Award. No,
No, we're not even going to sugarcoat it. If we're going to give that guy an award, it's Jackass of the Decade.
Yeah. I think my Donkey Award, and this kind of goes a little bit, it's the some of the stuff that's coming out of Blizzard, and I really don't want to get too much into the whole political side of it or anything like that, but nowadays I think anybody who's in a workspace should be able to work in a good workspace, and whatever's going on, and the fact that it took this long for certain people to resign.
Oh, we're getting serious and talking about real world problems.
Yeah, like to me, it's like, this, as they call it, the frat boy mentality. I don't know what necessarily that means. You know, I'm not going to try to guess. I can have a guess to it, but I don't want to say anything that's incorrect.
It's a different way of saying it was an environment filled with misogynistic pigs.
And then the other part of that too is that
who were basically assholes to the women
through this pandemic. So you have this type of environment, and then in the pandemic they also had mass layoffs when a whole bunch of higher ups got bonuses. Like it's just this whole like from the pandemic and everything that's starting to come out about Blizzard and all of that. It makes it very hard for me to even even look at a Blizzard game. It really does. So like I said, I don't want to get too political. I don't want to get too whatever because I don't want to make the wrong statements with it.
I thought these words were supposed to be kind of funny.
Oh, I mean, some of them can be serious, some of them can be funny. But to me, that's just you know, in society now, it's everybody's just trying to have a job and all of that, and the fact that that's the type of work area that you have to be in doesn't sit well with me.
Man, I didn't know we were going to do real world.
But what was going on at that place? What I think you're talking about, like I'm thinking someone should be able to go to work without worrying about how someone's going to tell them how nice their rack looks.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. Yeah, mass sexual harassment, employees farting into other employees' faces.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I've had jobs like that.
No, but
that's what they mean by frat boy. Then
yeah,
it was basically like they were treating that office like they were a bunch of dudes working in a warehouse.
And that's the thing is that you can have a bad environment and you can have the certain.
You can do those kinds of jokes, but you do them. The frat boys should have kept them amongst each other. You don't branch out and do that to somebody that's.
I mean, that falls into a whole bunch of other things and all of that.
But this could go on for hours.
Yeah, it can. But I think the thing that really kind of throws it to me too is that how many people they've actually laid off through this, and then
some of them were the people who were bringing up all these problems, and then they give themselves raises,
and bonuses. Like I mean
granted, they're the bosses, but it kind of drives me nuts the concept that they're going to give themselves raises. What did you guys actually do? They're the ones making the fucking games.
Yeah,
that's the comparison to me. Is like when we got Bin Laden, it showed like Obama and all these guys in suits congratulating each other. It's like, what the fuck did you actually do? You told them to do it, but they fucking did it. The soldiers did the fighting.
Yeah,
you were too far behind to actually see it.
Yeah, but
and same concept. They're giving themselves raises for not actually doing it, just for saying yes and making really bad decisions about the directions they should go with the games.
Yeah. So that's my donkey award. So you guys can vote on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll give them that. Fuck donkey awards. I give them the fuck you award. Assholes. So they should get a separate award entirely. The fuck you of the
we
decade
should definitely
award.
put the entire state of California in here too, because they're going to be limiting the computer components that can be.
They have already. It's already done.
No. It's official net at the end of the year. But stores are already in compliance.
So there's if your computer hits over a certain wattage requirement, you can't use it in California.
What?
Yeah, I think you can't go over 600 watts or something like that.
Well, it's not even that. It's certain GPUs that.
What does that mean for gamers?
They can't have them.
You can't have gaming computers in California anymore?
If they hit a certain wattage.
So you can't buy those in California.
Yeah, they won't sell them.
Gaming PCs use too much power, according to.
So it's draining on the grid too much.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, let's just be honest. Gaming PCs are now everywhere.
Yep.
I mean,
oh yeah.
I can't tell you. I go into strangers' houses for a living, and I go into 12-year-olds' rooms, and there's like a $3,000 computer staring at me, and I'm like,
you're gonna have a lot of fucking angry Californians who put a lot of money and time into building a gaming PC.
So the PC that's actually sitting right over here, that one would be not allowed in California. Just because of the wattage in it.
Henry Cavill's never going to live in California.
Yep. So we'll give that one. That's a bonus.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next time, Ubisoft could be joining this crowd.
So
I've heard about what's going on there.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. But once again, thank you guys, everybody, for listening. Check out our socials. The Save Point on Twitter, save_point_podcast on Instagram. Facebook to search for us, Podbean, all of that. Once again, we thank you, everybody. On Twitch, I can't forget about our Twitch, twitch.com or twitch.tv/thesavepointtv. So yeah, just once again, thank you. Subscribe. If you have your own Donkey Awards, hit us up with yours, and we'll definitely vote on them. We'll talk about them and we'll vote on them on our show.
Deuces.